ventures operate under significant resources constraints, which mean that marketing strategies must be both highly strategic but also adaptable. One of the most important critical elements is developing a clear and compelling value proposition. Startups must articulate the specific problem they are solving and communicate how their solution provide unique value compared to the existing alternative. Like I mentioned to my students, the three main aspects that you have to provide your business: the unique selling point, the ecological aspect, the social aspect, but also finance. Never forget finance, because if you don't have any of the three legs, your business is going to fail. Another important strategy is customer-driven experimentation, often associated with lean start methodology. Instead of invest heavily in large-scale marketing campaigns, startups should test smaller marketing, gather data, and rather iterate based on customer feedback.
Our guest today studies entrepreneurship, but she doesn't just research it from behind her desk. She has built ventures herself, created programs that empower women entrepreneurs, and now focuses her research on how scientists and innovators can transform ideas into real startups. Welcome to another episode of School to Startup, brought to you by Tracxn, a private market intelligence platform that's been supporting the university ecosystem for over 12 years. Through our university partnerships, we work with institutions driving innovation and entrepreneurship, and this series highlights the academic leaders making that happen. I'm Harish today, your host, and joining us is Dr. Jovanna Guzman, a PhD researcher in entrepreneurship and innovation at Queensland University of Technology, Australia. She's also an entrepreneur, educator, and somebody deeply passionate about building the next generation of founders. Jovanna, it's great to have you here.
Well, thank you so much for the invitation. I am the Dr. Jovanna Nathalie Cervantes Guzman, and I am happy to be here.
Great. So let me start with slightly fun question. You have spent years researching entrepreneurship, teaching it, and even building companies yourself. So tell us honestly, from everything you have observed, are entrepreneurs born, trained in universities, or are they simply people who had too much coffee at 2 a.m.?
Well, it's both ways, because as an entrepreneur and also as an academic, many of the times we see in academia that people that teach the entrepreneurship, they have not been entrepreneurs, or they don't have the experience or the background, but the theory. And also the entrepreneurs, many of times they have the experience and they have the knowledge in order to do aspects, but the theory is something that is not as much as we wish. So for me, being an entrepreneur and being academic and being able to mix both of them has helped me to not only to grow my business, but also to help the future generation of entrepreneurs in order to do very successful in both ways. To use the theory in order to create a business, to use the information that already had been developed, and with that grow a business in a potential way more like exponential than the normal path, or reduce the paths, the negative outcomes or the negative bumps in the way that the normal entrepreneurs have developed because the lack of knowledge.
Very interesting. Let's rewind a little bit. Can you tell us about your journey and how you ended up working at a intersection of academia, entrepreneurship, and innovation?
Well, my journey has developed in the intersection of entrepreneurship, academic research, and innovation ecosystem. I initially studied international business and later complete a master degree in marketing management, where my research focus was consumer behavior and neuromarketing. Then I complete my first PhD in administration management, where I explore neuroeconomics and consumer decision making with e-commerce environment. Alongside my academic career, I have remained deeply involved in entrepreneurship and business development. I am the CEO and co-founder of Atelier Organic, an international creative venture and the founder of EVA Academy, an initiative designed to empower women entrepreneurs through education, mentorship, and international collaboration. This entrepreneurial experience has strongly influenced my academic interest in particular in understanding how innovation, marketing strategy, and entrepreneurial ecosystem contribute to the success of new ventures. In addition to my first PhD, I recently completed my second doctoral degree at Queensland University of Technology in Australia, where my research focused in female entrepreneurship, innovation, and emerging technology sectors in biotechnology and medical devices. Through my professional journey, my work has received international recognition through the selection of Young Leaders of the America Initiative by the U.S. Department and a program created by Barack Obama. Also, as the recognition as Expansion Magazine as the 30 Promise of Business 2025 and selection of one of the 50 global leaders in the Vital Voice visionary programs by Still Other Global Foundation and Vital Voices. These recognitions have allowed me to collaborate with global innovation networks and continue expanding the impact of research, particularly in the area of entrepreneurship, innovation, and women leadership.
Very interesting. Before we continue, a quick note for everyone watching. If you enjoy a conversation like this with global academic leaders who are shaping the startup ecosystem, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Tracxn YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell icon so you never miss a new episode of School to Startup. All right, let's continue. What are some of the most exciting research areas you're currently working on around entrepreneurship and innovation?
Well, currently my research focus in entrepreneurship development, innovation ecosystem, and startup growth strategies, particularly with emerging sectors such as biotechnology, digital platforms, creative industry, and education in entrepreneurship. One of my main research interests involve understanding how innovation ecosystems, particularly those connected to universities, can effectively support the development of high-impact entrepreneurial ventures. I am also actively involved in research and initiative related to entrepreneurship education, examining how universities can be better prepared to students to become innovators, founders, problem solvers, and rapid change in global markets. In addition, through initiatives such as EVA Academy, I continue working on projects designed to support women entrepreneurs globally by providing access to training, mentorship, and international network to those in vulnerable sectors. And for me, one of the most exciting aspects of my work is ensuring that academic research translates into practical impact for entrepreneur communities and innovation ecosystems.
Very interesting. You have worked extensively in entrepreneurship education. So, from your experience, what are the most effective ways universities can actually teach entrepreneurship to students?
Well, for me, and particularly me as an academic, my translation in academia emerged naturally from my experience working with entrepreneur and corporate environments. While working with the startups, innovation programs, and international organizations like Griffith University, a University of Adelaide, with University of Western Australia and University of Guadalajara, I became increasingly interested in understanding the underlying mechanisms that explain why some of them succeed and why others don't scale. So academy provide me a framework to investigate these questions in more systematic and rigorous way. And over the years, I have experienced to collaborate with top universities that is top 1% and worldwide recognized where I have been involved in teaching, research, and the development of entrepreneurial education programs, like the new one that I developed in entrepreneurial business development in Adelaide University. And my experience in academia have been extremely rewarding because it allowed me to integrate research, education, and real-world entrepreneurial practice, particularly value the opportunity to mentor students and early-stage founders, helping from the develop innovative ideas and translate into viable ventures. And also, I am mentor in international NGOs with based in United States, where I help women entrepreneurs in vulnerable sectors and also in developing countries to grow over, to translate their entrepreneurs at international level.
Understood. Your work also explores marketing and business development for startups. What are some smart marketing strategies early stage founders can use when they have very limited resources?
Well, early stage ventures often operate under significant resources constraints, which mean that marketing strategies must be both highly strategic but also adaptable. One of the most important critical elements is developing a clear and compelling value proposition. Startups must articulate the specific problem they are solving and communicate how their solution provide unique value compared to the existing alternative. Like I mentioned to my students, the three main aspects that you have to provide your business: the unique selling point, the ecological aspect, the social aspect, but also finance. Never forget finance, because if you don't have any of the three legs, your business is going to fail. Another important strategy is customer-driven experimentation, often associated with lean start methodology. Instead of invest heavily in large-scale marketing campaigns, startups should test smaller marketing, gather data, and rather iterate based on customer feedback. Digital platforms also play a crucial role in enabling startups to reach early adopters. Tools such as social media engagement, content marketing, and community building strategies allowed startups to create meaningful relationships with the audience while maintaining relative low marketing costs. And finally, authentic storytelling is a powerful strategy as a founder who effectively communicate the purpose, mission, vision of their ventures are often more successful in building emotional connection with customers and early supporters. When these strategies are integrated effectively, startups can achieve early traction and gradually develop a sustainable and loyal customer base. Because as my mentor in Boston University said me, you don't sell the product, you sell the story. Mark Zuckerberg sell the story about creating their startup in the university. Tesla founders sell the story about the difficulties of being an entrepreneur. I sell the story about being an entrepreneur in developing countries where there is reduced support to women. And this, even though the difficulties, I have been able to be recognized at an international level. These are the key points that we need to take in consideration.
Very interesting. You have also been deeply involved in supporting women entrepreneurs. What barriers do women founders still face today?
Well, there are two main aspects, and I have found in my thesis and also interview these women and also working with these women. The first aspect is the lack of support. For example, biotechnology is one of the industries that has the lowest numbers of women entrepreneurs. Only 7% of women become entrepreneurs worldwide, and it's not only because only 2% of finance and like the finance to this organization go to women, and there is lack of finance, there is lack of support, but also, and that is in general, the glass ceiling and the sticky floor, the barriers that the industry put to women, and also the sticky floor, we don't feel confident enough in order to become successful. Many of them that I have interviewed, they say, I think I didn't have the abilities to be successful or to be an entrepreneur because the mindset. The mindset we need to take in consideration, because we need to empower these women in order that they know that they can be successful even Everyone is going to have barriers. Everyone has to going to have limits, but at the same time, the support of other women, the support of mentors, has been the great breaking point that they say, okay, I can be successful thank you to my mentor. In my case, my first mentor was Jessica Bowman, that was a CEO in New York. She was thanks to the program Cherry Blair Foundation for Women. Thanks to her support, I was able to become successful and be recognized at international level, and also the support of my mother, Patricia Guzman, that she say every time that the sky is the limit and think outside the box. Thanks to these two powerful women, I was able to success, and that is part of why I focus. That if other women doesn't have the success, the support that I have, I want to be the success. I want to be the support to help to their success and to break the glass ceiling.
Amazing. So, from your experience working across universities and entrepreneurship programs globally, what are the key ingredients required to build a strong startup ecosystem around universities?
Well, a successful entrepreneurial ecosystem typically depends on the interaction of several components. First, universities and research institutions play a central role in generating knowledge, support, innovation, and facilitating technological transfer. Second, access to funding is essential. Early start ventures benefit from diverse financial support mechanisms, including angel investors, venture capital, and public innovation grants, and their mentorship, as I mentioned. Network and entrepreneurial communities are crucial for knowledge exchange and capacity development. For example, in my case, my fellows from Young Leaders of the American Initiative, Said Baldwin, Herman, all these persons have been vital for Odile, Ingrid, had been vital for my support, for my success, because even though we have different backgrounds, different expertise, there is a collaborative economy between each other. We support and we have helped us in the growth. And another important factor is the presence of support public policies and infrastructure, such as incubators, accelerators, and innovation hubs that provide entrepreneurs with resources, training, and professional networks. And finally, perhaps the most intangible but powerful element is culture. Ecosystem that encourage experimentation, tolerate failure, and celebrate innovation tend to generate more entrepreneurial activities and long-term venture successful. For example, I have treated with different cultures, and I know that even though they are different, they have a key aspect that is the support. For example, my supervisor from Kitty, Dietmar Macher, or Shane Matthews, or my current supervisor, Donella Casper, from University of Western Australia, has been vital because even though they are from Australia, from Germany, they know that the key aspect is support. Even though the cultures are different from my culture that is Mexican, one key aspect is like how we can break the barriers. And if we have a current objective, we can create a better outcome and we can make an impact in the world.
Very interesting. So, for students, researchers, and aspiring founders watching today, what advice would you give them as they prepare for the future of entrepreneurship?
Okay. For the future, first of all, knowledge, education. For me, for being able to be in this at the level that I am and be recognized, even invited by the White House to one of the events from entrepreneurship, for me, the most important thing is education. That education open doors, breaks classes, breaks ceilings. That I have taken so many courses, and there have been so many courses that are you don't have to pay, that they offer the universities. Another aspect is think outside the box. One of the aspects, like not only what is in your culture, in your country. In the pandemic, back in my home country, we experienced a lot of barriers. And this kind of programs, international program like Young Leaders of the American Initiative or Fellow by International Monetary Fund, or even the program of Oxford University as entrepreneurial education of Accentia and Santander, give me the opportunity to obtain knowledge that allow me to survive in this difficult like in this difficult time, and continue to not only deal with the programs that are locally, but also there is a lot of international programs that can help you to success as entrepreneur. For example, the program of Goldman and Sachs 10,000 Women allow me to create a business plan that I even take that business plan and I put in my students. That business plan helped me to not only to my personal and professional development, but also I create as part of entrepreneurial a professor, a program in University of Guadalajara that focus in vinculation between engineer, marketing, entrepreneurship, and intellectual property to increase the number of startups. And we take the Stanford formula, and also the multidisciplinary vinculation is very important because working with biotechnology, working with different disciplines, we know that not everyone is going to be expert in every sense, but you have to vinculate with people from different cultures, but also different backgrounds, because allows you to see different aspects that can help you to grow your business.
Very interesting. And finally, where can we learn more about your research projects or connect with you online?
Well, people interested in my work can learn in my research profile in University of Guadalajara, or also in my profile in University of Adelaide, Queensland University of Technology, also at my LinkedIn, and through my professional platforms and in LinkedIn, I mentioned, and regularly share updates related to research, innovation, and entrepreneurship initiative in that place. I also continue to collaborate with international organizations, universities, and entrepreneurial programs focused in innovation ecosystem, entrepreneurial education, and women leadership and business technology.
Great. So that brings us to the end of today's episode. We had a fascinating conversation with Dr. Guzman, where we explored how universities can nurture entrepreneurship, how research can translate into real startups, and the importance of empowering the next generation of founders, especially women. Dr. Guzman, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your insights with us. And to everyone watching, if you have enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, subscribe to the Tracxn YouTube channel, and click on the bell icon so you don't miss out on our upcoming conversations. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of School to Start.
Thank you so much.